Hello, everyone. Thank you for joining. My name is Tiham Siddiqui. I am 8 times Salesforce certified application architect, working as a senior Salesforce developer, and also leading a Salesforce Trailblazer community group. You can reach out to me on LinkedIn or Twitter. Welcome to the second session of the workshop Elevating Your Flow Skills. So, uh, the expectations from you to be attentive in this session, practice, and we expect that you have the basic understanding of standard objects, custom objects, standard fields, custom fields, and data model or data relationships. What you should expect from this workshop series, that you will be able to understand what are flows, what are the types of flows, and you'll be able to differentiate between them. And by the end of this workshop series, you will be able to build basic automations. We discussed what we're going to what we're going to learn in this workshop. So we have seen what are Salesforce flows and types of it. We we have seen the types of Salesforce flows in detail. Then we discussed Salesforce flow elements, and we are going to discuss the flow limits and considerations, uh, flows versus Apex, and flow best practices. So today we're going to have a quick recap of what we have discussed in the previous session. Then we're going to learn about Salesforce flows limitations and flows versus Apex triggers. Then we can have hands-on experience, and I will be sharing some challenges and useful resources. So let's start. Okay, so record triggered flow type where you configure it on an object, and when the record is created, updated, or deleted, it triggers. Platform platform events platform event triggers flow is something similar to record triggered flow, but it is configured on platform events. Whenever a platform event is published, it triggers. Auto launched. Auto launched flow needs no trigger, and it can be invoked by Apex, other processes, REST APIs, and external services. So here we see that this the status of this record is submitted and owner is a queue. Clicking this button invokes the auto launch flow, and it updates the record status to assign an owner to this record. Schedule flow runs in the background, and you can execute it at a specific time or a specified time and at a repeated frequency like daily, weekly, or once. Data elements. Interaction elements include screen, action, and subflow. Logical elements includes decisions, assignments, loops, collection sort, and in data elements we have create, which is equivalent to insert, update, delete, and get record, which is equivalent to a select query. So Salesforce limitations. Salesforce strictly enforces limits because it is a multi-tenant environment, and it makes sure that the resources are shared and not monopolize. So we see that we have total number of socket queries issued hundreds, 100 of socket queries can a flow have. Total number of records retrieved by socket queries 50,000. Total number of DMS statements issued 150, and the total number of records processed as a result of DMS statements is 10,000. The maximum CPU time on the Salesforce server is 10,000 milliseconds, and total number of duplicate updates allowed in one batch is 12. Salesforce flows versus Apex triggers. So if we compare, you see that in context of resource, you need Salesforce developer to write the Apex, but an a Salesforce admin can help you build a Salesforce flow. Large data in context of large data volume, Apex can handle large record sets in per transaction. Sometimes it is difficult, but if you bulkify your flow, it can be handled in Salesforce flows. In context of complex queries, you can handle complex queries in Apex and triggers. Sometimes it is difficult to handle these complicated queries in Salesforce flows. But now Salesforce is focusing on flows and introducing some of the features that can help you handle the complicated queries. In context of test classes, so if you have Apex triggers or Apex classes, you need uh, a test class for unit testing, and this should cover at least 75% of your code in in order to deploy it to the production. While Salesforce flows, you don't have to write test classes. You have flow tests that these are recommended but not required. In the last session, people asked when to decide when to use Apex triggers or Apex flows. So my answer to that is each problem has its each tool to solve this issue. So for example, if you need to tighten a nut, what which tool you are going to use? A screwdriver, a hammer, or a wrench? So you're going to use a wrench to tighten a nut. Similarly, if you want to tighten a screw, are you going to use hammer or you're going to use a screwdriver? Similarly, we have different problems and Salesforce provide different solutions for it. So for example, if you want to restrict a user to enter the appropriate data, are you going to use Apex triggers or rigor triggered flows, or you're going to use custom validations? Similarly, if you want to show, suppose there is a master detail relationship between account and let's say opportunity, and you want to show the number of open opportunities on account level, are you going to create Apex triggers, rigor triggered flows, or create a summary field? So go for the smallest resource that resolves your problem. Okay, this is a bit older, but still relatable. So you see the left side is low code, and on the right hand side you see this is a pro code. So you see that first we have before safe flow trigger, then we have after safe flow trigger, then we have after safe flow trigger plus Apex, and then we have Apex trigger. You see the availability in each context uh, and you see that we have same record field updates, high performance batch processing, cross object CURD, asynchronous processing, complex list processing, custom validation errors. So now in record triggered, you can add custom validation errors, but it is a bit older. That's why it's not shown here. uh, you see the availability of these features are, you can see that apex triggers are more efficient, but you need to understand when to use Salesforce flows and when to use apex triggers. So let's have some hands-on experience. I want you guys, if you are new to Salesforce, I want you guys to sign up or log into trailhead.salesforce.com and create your play org. You can do this by clicking your profile. Then an option will appear. Click hands on orgs, and from there, you will be navigated to a new page and where you can click create a trailhead playground, and it will create a separate org for you. If it is difficult for you, then you can just follow this badge where you will be able to understand and learn how to create or manage your playground orgs. Okay, so you guys start creating orgs, or maybe you uh, uh, create these orgs later. Meanwhile, let's have some hands-on experience. So I am going to create today. I'm going to create uh, an auto launch flow, a schedule triggered flow. So first, let's start a schedule flow. I've selected a schedule flow. Click create. So it is all similar except this new configuration that you can set a schedule it. So let's uh, do this. So the scenario is we want to send email notifications to the to the contacts where their birth dates are, where we need to check if today is their birthday. So we're going to send them some birthday wishes. So for that, let's prepare some records. So I have already created this record, and I've also added the birth date. Let me change the year first. Today is 10th. No, okay. Yep. And I have also created two formula fields to extract the birth month and birth date. It will be easier for us to identify or to add filters when we're going to add the criteria in the flow. And this can be done by many other methods. Uh, but I'm for the easier and to help you understand what I'm doing, I'm choosing this uh, method. So I have extracted the birth month and the birth date. Now going back to flow, and I want to set when to start. So I'm saying start from today, and at what time? Let's say I wanted to execute every day at 3:30 p.m., and you can set the frequency as well. You just want to execute it once daily or weekly. So uh, let's set daily, and now select the object. So here we're going to add the contact, and now we're going to add the criteria. So we're going to select birth date. This is the custom field that we have created, and the birth month. And now we're going to check it with okay, mm, we're going to create new resource variable, and today's date. We're going to set its number. Actually, we're going to create a formula instead. Today's date, and it's going to return a number. We don't want any decimal. Okay, and we're going to have this, and okay. So this method today method returns the date of today, and the day method extract the date from this date. So let's check the format. Syntax is validated. Now click done and use this variable if possible. No, we cannot. Okay, so what we can do is we can create a checkbox, a new formula field checkbox, and let's name it is birthday today, and keep it unchecked. Next, let's make it visible for all. Oh, we want it to be a formula field. Sorry. And now we need it to be a checkbox. Click next, and here we need a formula. So let's say if, and um, we're going to use again the same formula. Day is equivalent to today's date, and again birth date is equal to, now we are extracting the month. So then true, else false. Okay, give me a second to fix this. Apologies, I was on mute. Sorry. So let me repeat. So we created a formula field. This formula field which is going to check if the birth date is equivalent to today's date, and the month of the birth date is equivalent to today's month or current month. So we see that if the formula checks it and it is turns out to be true, then it's going to check this field. Otherwise, it's going to uncheck the field. This is the first thing. The second thing, we configured our schedule triggered flow to run or to execute on starting from today at 3:30 p.m. and the object is contact, and we the criteria is this field equivalence to true. Now we are going to create an email template for the birthday greetings. So that's what we are doing. So we have created the simplest email template. Okay. Now we're going to create an email alert. Send birthday greetings alert. Object is contact. The email template is birthday greetings. Um, no user email field. Okay, save. Okay, so the email alert we have configured in a way that uh, the template we are going to use the same that we have created. The object is contact. We have added a description, unique name auto populates, from which email address it should be sent from. We use our current email address, and to which email it is sent to. Uh, we are going to use the email field in in the contact record. So you see that we have the email field over here. We'll use this to send this email to. And now then we have to add another one email uh, is null false. So the email should not be empty or null. Let's save this. We're going to add an element using the action, and we're going to search for email alerts. Alert. So we have this email alert that we have just created. Uh, let's name it send email, send birthday greetings, and here we're going to add the that is uh, filtered out from this the criteria, and use the we're going to use the global variables records id. Okay, done, and save as. We're going to use a fake email address. Okay, um now let's try to debug this. uh no, it's okay. And we see that this sends the email. Let's check. And yes, we have received it. See, we have received it. So currently we had just one record. If we had multiple, we should have received the email, uh, or we should have sent this email to multiple records. Let's add our formula field. See, this is the only record uh, whose birthday is today. So use this example. You can try this, and you can build your own scenarios as well. But this is the basic understanding of how the scheduled record flows work. So, do we have any questions here right now? Please feel free to ask any question. Okay. So, moving on to auto launched flows. So, let's create an auto launch flow. Let's set the auto launch flow. Click create. Okay. So, let's build a scenario. Uh, mm, so, let's build a scenario where we are going to uh, to add if the languages field is empty in the contact object, then it should populate English and Urdu, English in this field. Okay, so let's create this flow. So we have already selected the auto launch flow. Let's create. Um, First, we need to create a resource variable, or we can say, yeah, variable, name it record id, and it should be a type of record, which objects contact, and make it available for input. Done. And now let's check or directly update contact, update contacts languages or language. Okay, so here we are going to add the criteria that the record id or contact id is equivalent to the id we have, and the language of this contact is null true. So you're going to add English uh, in this field. Click save. Update contacts language. And as we discussed that this needs this needs to be invoked by an apex class or other processes, or any external services. So what we're going to do, we're going to invoke it from a button. So let's activate this. Okay. uh Now let's go to contact, buttons, links and actions, create a new button, detail page button, keeping these two configuration as same, because it's going to open in the new window and it is going to use the URL. So for it, we're going to say update language. Here's the description. And for the URL, what we're going to do, we're going to go to the flows, and we have to see. Okay, here it is. Click the drop down button, click view details and versions, and here is the URL that we need. Copy it, paste it over here, and we have to provide the value for the input that we have just created in the flow. So we created this variable and made it available for input, and using the value assigned to this variable, it is getting the context record. So we need to provide the ID to this variable. How are we going to do this? Question mark, the the variable, we're going to set the variable equals to, and we're going to use the contact ID, contact ID. Check the syntax, it is okay, and click save. Now we need to edit in the page layout. I'm not sure which page layout it is. It is the contact layout. So opening the page layout, um, mobile action lightning, search for the update language. Here we have, and let's edit here. Click save. Let's refresh. We have the button over here. Okay, and we have the language field is empty. Click update language. The automation open in the same window. You see, it is updated. Go back, refresh. and we have the language field updated. And let's suppose we are going to try it on another contact. So we use this here that the language should be empty. What if I just add a value in this, populate a value in this field, and now try to update this language. And now if I try to go back and see, it did not update the language because the language field was not empty. So these are some scenarios that you can use, that you can practice, and you can build your own scenarios, and you can search uh, for the real world examples or scenarios online. I'll share some links as well. I will share the recording as well, and the presentation as well. So let's move on to questions. If we have any question. Okay, then. So these are some of the useful resources. You can start with these badges. Uh, I have added a new badge over here, auto launched and scheduled flows. You can start with this, and if you are practicing and you face any issues and problem, you can contact me. Uh, for the future events, for the future dates, please follow admin group. You can just scan this QR code, or you can open this link and click and follow the or join the admin group. Please fill out this survey form so we understand that how we can improve the experience for the attendees, what we can do different, what you liked, and what you want to change. um, so if we don't have any questions, thank you. I hope you find this session useful and helpful for your learning, and I hope that you're going to practice this and elevate your flow skills. Thank you, everyone.